Hello and welcome to Shallow Dives, where we nitpick the asinine issues plaguing video games and spend far too much time discussing them. This week, why won't NPCs just hurry the f*** up? You know what I mean, you're having a lovely walk through a meadow with your best NPC bud, chatting about the next fetch quest you're probably going to be sent on. Except they're going slower than your walking speed. So you're constantly having to do this stop-start thing, and then turn around and wait for them. Run back behind them and try and push them forward quicker, and eventually just give up and run to the checkpoint and wait for them. So now, you can't even hear them at all. You would have thought that after 40 years of video game development that we'd have been able to sort this by now. Have the NPCs walk at the same speed as you. Whether you're crawling on your hands and knees or sprinting faster than Usain Bolt, booking it from a pack of angry dogs. There might be reasons why though, so let's give developers at least a tiny benefit of the doubt. Most of the time, these sort of interactions are developed in two stages. One is in the voiceover booth. Actors read the lines that have been written for them. That audio file is then given to animators, who've got a certain distance for characters to travel between whilst that audio plays out. You can't speed up the file, nor change the layout of the level, so you just have to make the NPC go at a speed that matches those two things up. There's also immersion to consider. In general, the player character moves unnaturally quickly. Now, not as fast as Doom Guy, admittedly. He zooms about like he's wearing rocket skates and it's 2 for 1 at the pretzel stand.
Well, I like pretzel day.
But to avoid the tedium of moving at the speed we mortal humans do actually move, everything is sped up a bit to make it punchier and more dynamic. However, do the same with NPC characters and you can easily end up in some kind of uncanny valley of flailing limbs and janky movements. Think the Titans from AOT, but in fantasy clothes. And what about if the opposite was true? What if NPCs walked quicker than you? Well, for one, they might disappear into the distance to the point where you lose track of them and get lost. Less an issue in corridor-filled spaceships, but whilst crossing the rolling countryside hills, you get more lost in the fields of wheat than a certain ex-prime minister.
The farmers weren't too pleased about that.
It also wouldn't allow you to get distracted and go off the beaten path for a moment. Wandering off to investigate a shiny thing is something I do all the time, so not being afforded to do so would be infuriating. Matt wants shiny thing, Matt go get shiny thing. I quite like shiny things. Okay, I don't care, I just need the item that's over here. I just need the item that's over here. I don't care about anything else. Oh, it's a worm! Get it, get it, get it! Ah! Also, consider the alternatives. How often have you heard people complain about there being too many cutscenes in games? Slow-walking NPCs are a solution to avoiding that. Or there's the Half-Life model of having characters just stand there talking at you while you jump about and try and break all their stuff. Sure, that is a viable alternative, but it's also kind of immersion shattering standing on someone's desk as they're talking to you.
There was the 2K story, have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, because they're making a remake. Some guy posted on LinkedIn that they've been working on something, but it's unannounced. So everyone's kind of speculating on what it could be. I personally would love a Borderlands remake, but a lot of people think it's going to be Bioshock.
I think Bioshock, I'd like to be Bioshock anyway. Having considered all that though, surely there are other things devs can do instead. Tether the NPC to the movement of the player, for example. Yeah, it might cut off some dialogue, but that's for the player to decide for themselves. Witcher 3 did it pretty well, to be fair, so clearly it can be done. Or hang on, aren't all these big companies banging on about how AI is now the future of everything? Well, maybe we can actually get it to do something good for creators for a change, and anticipate where you're going to move. Then make sure that the NPC goes alongside you. Elizabeth in Bioshock Infinite did exactly that. And that game came out 11 years ago. Either way, sort this out, devs. I'm sick of waiting for NPCs to catch up with me. Idiots are always saying that video games are a waste of time, but they are obviously not a waste of time unless they actually are wasting your time. What's the worst example of this you can think of? Drop them below. Oh, and like, comment, subscribe.